Hey everyone, it's Mr. Greenwood again with another tutorial video. And in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about perpendicular lines that we've been practicing in class. And so I just want to kind of define it, talk about how to write some equations of perpendicular lines, and give you a chance to try your own hand at it. So here we go. So remember, perpendicular lines are lines that intersect, which I have in a post over here. It's a fancy way to say that they touch or that they cross each other. And they intersect at a 90-degree angle. Okay, creates a right angle when they intersect. So let me draw you a picture or two. Remember, these are just going to be sketches. And so they won't be perfectly drawn, but we'll get them as close as we can. So one way that's simplest to draw, oh, that's a terrible line. Let's try that again. So remember, these are sketches. They should be straight, perfectly straight lines. That doesn't look too bad. So we have this little box to indicate a right angle. Okay, and so there's a picture of what perpendicular lines can look like. They can be turned. So we could have them rotated this way, and those are still perpendicular lines, even if they're rotated at any degree for those two lines. So let's talk about the slopes of perpendicular lines. So remember that slopes of perpendicular lines are always opposite reciprocals. Okay, so they're always opposite reciprocals. So here's what that means. So if they are opposite, that means they'll have different signs, meaning one slope is positive and one slope is negative. Okay, and they're reciprocals, and that means the slope fraction is flipped. So top and bottom are, let's say switch places. Switch places. Okay. And so that always works for perpendicular lines. Their slopes will always be opposite reciprocals. So let's look at an example. Okay. So here is going to be my line. So we'll say our line is y equals, I don't know, let's go with 2/5 x. Wow, my x is really bad. Let's try that again. That's better. 2/5 x minus 1. And so my slope here is 2/5. Remember, slope does not include the x. The x just tells us where to look to find the slope. So we have y equals 2/5 x minus 1. And so any line perpendicular So any line perpendicular to that will have the opposite reciprocal slope. Okay, so let's slide up here and take a look. So any line perpendicular will have a slope of the opposite reciprocal of 2/5. So that means we need to switch the sign. So since this is positive, we'll make it negative. And because it's 2/5, we'll flip that to be 5/2. So our perpendicular slope would be y equals negative 5/2 x. And then my y-intercept can be literally anything I want. It can stay the same. It can be different. So let's go with +2 for an example. Okay. Let's do one more example. And that might be something like, that would also be perpendicular. Let's say y equals, how about -5/2, because we know the slope has to be the opposite reciprocal of 2/5. 5/2x, let's go -6. Okay, so that's how we write the equations of lines that are perpendicular to each other. We take the original slope and take the opposite reciprocal. So again, remember opposite means we are going to have different signs. We got one positive and one negative. And the reciprocal means the fraction is flipped. So the top and the bottom are going to switch places. Okay. So hope this helped you out. In the next video, we'll talk a little bit about what these look like on a graph. I hope you have an awesome one, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.